Good morning, Teresa. Hello. Hello, Doris. Vesta, good morning. Jean, you've almost forgot it's Thursday. Hi, Brenda. Good morning, everybody. Oh, I'm really impressed that I am getting comments as quick as I am on the laptop. You got your block of the month in the... Oh, good. You got your kit today. Yay. I've been watching a lot of other demonstrators and Facebook... Hi, Kathy. Facebook was giving them a problem of only showing them a few comments at a time when they were doing their Facebook Lives. So I've been trying to monitor that. And mine are popping up just fine, so... Hi, Carolyn. Good morning. So far, so good on Facebook. How is everybody's morning? We have beautiful weather and sunshine. Actually, the humidity left us, but we're due for some storms tomorrow, which they said will bring the humidity back. So we are eating it up right now, having this comfortable summer weather, which also makes it comfortable out at the lake while we're doing pulling our plover duty. So good morning, Sharon. So good to see you here. We are like 10 days away of being in that time frame when the chicks could be hatching. So it's getting close. That's when the real stress sets in. Trying to keep track of not only, we have mom and dad, and her sister is still around. But if all 4 eggs hatch, then we have 7 plovers that we are trying to keep our eyes on. And it's going to be a lot. But I'm looking forward to it. I have really, really fallen in love with these little birds. Everything right now to me is all about piping plovers, but if you ask me what my favorite bird is right now, that's what I'm going to tell you. And probably will from now on. Hi, Jane. How are things in Georgia? Hello, Brenda. Hey, Lori. Okay, it's so good to see so many here. So I got the plovers update out of the way. I got some happy mail this week, and I'll tell you, when I saw this envelope in the mailbox, the first thing I thought of was, what did I order? Because usually when I order things, some of them come in these really pretty envelopes, but I couldn't recall ordering anything. And I looked at the address, and I'm like, I don't know Julia Randa, and it was squishy, so I'm like, what is this? So I open it up, and the note says, just for you, Julie, a special little mug rug from your Stampin' friend, Doris Fryman. Wait till you see this. It is just adorable. It's a mug rug that says, the Chirpy Card Maker. And look at the bird. Is this not adorable? And Doris, I have my notes on my phone. So you're going to have to help me out here with not getting this mixed up. But Julie is your niece, right? Who has an Etsy store and does these cute little mug rugs. I would love for you to share a link to her store, and please add anything that you can. I like I said, I put my notes in my phone, but now I've got my phone in front of me and I can't go look at them. So I'm sorry about that. But Doris, please feel free to share more about your niece. I believe it's your niece, you, and there was, oh, I'm so bad at this, but 3 of you, back when the pandemic started, you made buku masks. Great niece. Okay, great. So Doris is now sharing with everybody that this is her great niece and her Etsy store. But they went into mask production, massive amounts of mask. Hi, Denise. Nice to meet you. But the Chirpy card maker, this is my first piece of anything that has the Chirpy card maker on it. So I love it. Thank you, Doris. And I will be checking out Julie's Etsy store. These make great gifts. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It was so awesome. I had happy tears. Okay, so Julie's mother, Robin, is her niece. And the 3 of them sewed the mask. Thank you, Doris, for saving me on all of that. I don't know what's going on with my voice right now. And Carolyn, if I didn't say hi before, hi. I see your name pop up again. Okay, so I got a new stamp set last week. And when I chose it, it was just something that I thought was not in my wheelhouse. I wanted to do something or look at something different. And all the examples I saw made with them were beautiful. But there's one saying in there that actually is perfect for today's card. So I think this might have been something divine or something that was just meant to be. But it's called In Symmetry. And the sentiment I'm going to be using is called You Are Perfectly Unique. And when you see all these little squares that I had mentioned that you could go ahead and put together ahead of time, they're all unique. And so I'm like, voila, here we go. This was meant to be. It was meant to be that I got this stamp set. So that's what we're going to be using, or what I'm going to be using. But I highly recommend it. The font in these sentiments, it stamps in every color just beautifully. It can go from looking very rich to very feminine. I mean, this font is perfect. So I highly recommend the In Symmetry stamp set. I have recently seen the paper and wish I had gotten the paper at the same time. But you know what? Here shortly, there's going to be another celebration. And I've already got my list started of items that I need, and I will put those towards celebration so that I can earn free product. So I don't have to have that paper right away, because with my order, I'm going to get some freebies. So more about that in the weeks to come that I can share with you about celebration. Hi, Debbie and Denise. So good to see you here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the camera around and we're going to get started on today's card. Okay, there might have been a slight interruption there. I went to mute an incoming call and actually enlarged it. So I'm sorry about that. There we go. Now, anything in writing is in the right orientation. There's the card. This is June's host code here. So if I can help you with any items that you're looking or would like to order, let me know. But if you would use that host code if your order is under $150. I would appreciate it. It helps me get little things like, I like to send little gifts with orders that were $50 or more. So that helps me get little gifts and things like that I can give away. I got some ideas for some upcoming maybe challenges that I can have a prize to send someone. If your order is over $150, you definitely don't want to use that host code because you have earned the Stampin' Rewards, and I want you to get them. Okay, so good. Looks good on the laptop. Okay. So, my upline, who is the famous and the most kind, helpful upline I could ask for, is Karen Titus. And a few weeks ago, she had shown a bookbinding card. Well, I wanted to try it, but I've been so busy, I'm a little late to the party. So we're going to do the bookbinding fun fold. And I had also shown the other day, I found a Scrappy quilt on Pinterest. And I thought, okay, I want to do that Scrappy squares. And I'm going to do, and because I was going to end up with a 4-inch square, I thought the bookbinding fun fold is perfect because I don't really, all I have to worry about is finishing it off to the side. My quilt squares are going to take up the whole other side. So when you have a square quilt block, the bookbinding fun fold is actually really perfect to showcase it. Here's that sentiment: you are perfectly unique, which when I show you all of these squares I did, no two are the same. So it just went perfectly with the card. So that is the card that we're going to do today. And I am using the hand-penned designer series paper and coordinating cardstock. Stampin' Up! Always puts on the back of the packs of paper the coordinating colors that will work well with that designer series paper, so it takes the guesswork out of it for you. And you might find that there are other colors that will work well with it, but they give you a nice list of suggestions to use. So I made a whole bunch of these 2-inch squares. At first I stepped it down by 1/4, but it wasn't leaving enough of the paper underneath exposed so that you could see the pretty colors. So I went to 1 5/8, and then I did 1 1/4. These are not going to line up perfectly when you layer them, but it's not that off. I definitely wanted to showcase especially the second and the third layer. I wanted to be able to showcase the DSP without hiding it too much. So here's my little collection. I've already pulled 4 out that I want to work with. I also had some scraps of embossed cardstock. You'll notice I also combined just a layer of plain cardstock to give me some more solids in here. But just different scraps that I had, I cut them into the 1 1/4-inch squares. And that's really the only layer that you want to emboss because you're going to hide everything from that's underneath that top square. So I threw in some of those. Now, I have a lot to play with to make more cards after what we do today. But I just wanted to show you all these different combinations, and no two are exactly the same. Because when I picked up my pieces, I didn't even look to see if all the colors were in there. Some of them did turn out that way. So you can be very whimsical and just pick up anything, or you can look at the colors in your designer series paper and pull out certain colors. The one thing that I did try to do was, when I was layering them, have some contrast so that they didn't all just blend in so well that not any one paper stood out. So I wanted to give some separation so that it didn't all get muddled together. So those are my squares. Like I said, I already have chosen 4 that I'm going to use. So I'm just going to set all these squares aside because I will be busy making more cards with my leftovers. And there is my example. Instead of Pool Party for my card base, I am going with Blushing Bride, just so we can see some difference there. I'm using the same ribbon, and this is in the current catalog. This is the black ribbon, and it's got the glitter in it. And you'll notice in the hand pen, in the designer series paper, I wanted to bring out the black that is in just, where all the flowers are drawn. So I wanted to bring that out, and plus all the colors really pop on a black background. Whatever you have chosen to use, pull those colors out. But in this instance with the hand pen, I am going to use black to make my colors pop. Okay, so we're going to score the 4 1/4 by 11 inch card base together. I'm going to pull that out here. Bring in my trimmer, and we are going to score at 4 1/4 and 5 1/2. So let's make sure I'm in camera here. I think I need to go up. There we go. Okay. But the thing is, I need to bring it down because I can't find... Oh, wait a minute. 5 1/2 looks like it's this line, or very close to it, just a little hair over. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I want to keep my cutting blade down here. I do not want to cut the paper. So I'm going to score at 5 1/2. I'm going to slide it over, or slide it back to the right to 4 1/4 and score again. You can't really see the score lines on this Blushing Bride, but they're there. So what we're going to do is we're going to burnish that 5 1/2, the score at 5 1/2 inches. I'm going to fold this back and give this a good burnish. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to put glue right here on this inside piece. Come on. Don't give me problems today. I don't want it to ooze out, so I don't want to get too heavy near the edge there. Just press that down. Just give that glue some time to hold there. This creates the book binding. Okay. This really is a quick card too. Okay, so now let's start putting our layers together. I have a piece of basic white that's 4 inches square. I believe I said 4 inches, didn't I? Maybe I said 4 1/8 and I cut mine wrong. All of my notes are in my phone. I have got to quit doing that. Can somebody tell me, did I have you cut it at 4 1/8 or a 4? Not that it really matters. Not that it really matters. Just make sure that whatever size you cut it at for your insert, that the piece that we're going to add over here to give, so we can use some more designer series paper, is the same size. Okay. Now what I want to do is, I think I'm going to do this before I glue it down, but it doesn't, I don't think it totally matters. Is I have a piece of the designer series paper, and I want to add this black strip to it with a little bit peeking out to give some separation to this side. So when I flip this over, I want to put a little tiny bead of the glue right along that edge. And then you can decide how much of the black you want to peekaboo out from underneath your designer series paper. And then you're going to trim off any excess with your snips. Okay. And then we're going to glue that piece to the right-hand side of the basic white. I'm going to pick this up just so that I can make sure I have it all the way to the edge. I think that looks good. Just press that down. So you just have that peekaboo black that helps bring out the black that is in the designer series paper. Now, if I wanted to get picky, my flowers are going this way. I could put it in the card that way, but I am not bothered by that. And then go ahead and put this down. Come on, glue. Do not create a blob on me. This one is just being stubborn. Well, instead of fighting it, I'm just going to go to another one. Okay. going to want to pay attention that we have a nice border all the way around. Let's put that in there. Now you could stamp something right there if you wanted to, or just leave it open for someone to write a little note. The inside, I wanted to give more color to the inside. So I am going to add this square of Designer Series paper to the inside of that flap. And do these flowers really have an orientation? I don't really think that it matters. You know, making quilt cards, we do not use up a whole lot of Designer Series paper, and I really want to be able to showcase it more. So what I had, the 4 1/4 by, or the 4 by 5 1/4 Designer Series paper piece that I had you cut, we're going to put it on the back. Just like, where's my first card? We're going to give more color to the back. So this is going to help us use up some of that Designer Series paper. The backs don't have to be boring on your cards, neither do the inside flaps. So if you're not using up a lot of Designer Series paper making quilt cards, because we work with such tiny pieces, I suggest, and I am going to start trying to, brighten up the inside of my card and the back of my card. So there's the back. There's the inside. Now we will work on the front. Let's take care and let's take care of this side over here. Let's put those pieces together. So that was a 1 1/8 inch by 4 1/8 of whatever background color you're using. So I am going to layer this. And then we're going to put some ribbon around it. And I'm going to keep the same piece, the same side that I used for the inside, the left-hand side of my, well, when you open it up, it's the left side here. I kept those two papers the same. And now I am going to bring in my ribbon. I'm going to use a little bit of tape runner to help hold my ribbon down, so that when I bring it over this way, I can just tie my knot. I personally like to see a bow, a bend in my layer, because then I know it's not going to be super loose when I tie. But I'm just going to tie a knot. And I don't know why this is so hard to do on camera, but it is. So there's my knot, and then I can just bend it back and flatten it out. Doesn't that black look so pretty on that pink? Just kind of center it there. And then you can trim up the ends. That. Okay. So we have that piece. Bring our card back in. And I'm going to add some glue along the black here on the black cardstock. Leaving that little tiny border. Just push that down into place there, like that. So there we have our decorative edge to our book binding. Now to do the main attraction here, what helps me stay straight is grid paper. So I drew a 4-inch square, and then I quartered it in half. I drew a line in half vertically, or horizontally and vertically, to give me my 2-inch squares. And so this is going to help me stay straight and get them butted up together nice and straight. Yeah. I'm going to glue them down right inside that square. Grid paper just always helps me stay square. So I'm just going to glue them down, and then I'm going to trim off the extra grid paper. But the lines on this grid paper help me stay straight. I have a really hard time eyeballing and keeping things square without it. You could draw a 4-inch square, have it in both directions on a piece of copy paper or any kind of scrap paper if you don't have the grid paper. But this is really helping me stay straight. So that's why I like to use it. Sure, my seams are butted up to each other. This reminds me of the granny squares that would be knitted and crocheted into afghans. These squares. I am not a knitter or a crocheter, but I can appreciate the granny squares. Okay, so there I have my block, and then what I'm going to do is I am just going to trim off all of the excess. You can do that with your snips, your paper trimmer. I'm just going to use my little guillotine here. I love the guillotine because it gives me such nice, sharp, clean edges. And one more. And then we're going to put this block right on the front. Get all these little shards out of the way. We've got a piece of black. Here that we are going to put this on. See how the black pulls out the drawings, but then it's really going to pop on that blushing bride. So let's glue this to our piece of, in my case it's black. I don't know what color you're working with. Leaving that little peekaboo border all the way around. That. And then we are going to glue this to the front. And if you want to find all the cutting instructions, I listed them on Tuesday. You can go back to the main page on the Chirpy Card Maker and look for Tuesday's post, and it will have all the cutting instructions. We're almost done. Isn't this so pretty? What I did for my I stamped my sentiment on basic white. I used my layering circles dies. I just love these dies. I have always loved just the tiny scallop edge. Whenever I've seen someone use this die set. It's probably one of the best things I ever got myself was the circle layering dies. So here is going to be my sentiment in the middle. You are perfectly unique. Speaks well of all of the quilt blocks that are here. And my cat just jumped up on the table. You probably saw that. I am going to pop this up with the black dimensionals. Stretch, you know you're not supposed to be up here. You know you are not supposed to be up here. You should just exit. Keep going. Come on. Don't make a mess getting down. Okay. And I had cut, oh, now I forgot where it was. Okay. So we're going to pop this up in the center. Now you could make it, you can put it on a tilt since we are unique, but I'm just going to go ahead and put it right there. And then we're going to look at some embellishments. I pulled out the genial gems, not to use the green ones, but I want to kind of look and see what, it reminds me of the pale papaya, what that will look like. I just want to put some gems right there. Where's my take your pick tool? Oh, here it is. Let's just slide. They're going to be very subtle, which I think I like. Let's put one down here. We're going to do 3. We'll put one right there. And we'll put one right there. Creating a triangle, which looks pleasing to the eye. And there is today's card. Oops, we forgot one thing. You got to put your name on it. You have to put your stamp on it. So there's my back, the front. Maybe the genial gems weren't the best choice. In the original card, I used the metallic pearls, and the metallic pearls brought out the glitter in the ribbon. But I'm not going to be too fussy. I wanted to try something else, use up some more product. And I just thought that the softness of these colors brought out the softness, like the pale papaya, blushing bride. There's even shades of petal pink in the cardstock if you really look. But it's unique. They're not supposed to be the same. So that's today's card. What do you think? Yes, Sharon, tear and tape does hold better, but all I needed to do was just secure that ribbon so that I could bring it around and tie it. Sharon, you did 1.5 for the middle. I can't wait to see everybody's cards shared in the group page when we're done. I know a few that'll probably be posting shortly after the live is over, if not before. They've been really fast at creating with me as I go. But it's scrappy. It's a way to use up leftover pieces of cardstock when you trim things off your, scraps of your designer series paper. So I liked the granny square idea, and I wanted something that was quick. I love doing and I love teaching and showing you how to do the more intricate quilt patterns. But we also have to have some quick and easy cards that we can whip out. And just this, you are perfectly unique. That just sets the tone for the whole card and for the person that you're sending it to. So I think that all came together really, really well. So this card I will send to someone. I'll put all the names who have commented or shared the video into a drawing. And so I will send this to someone. This one I'm going to keep as my example. I have enough. I put enough squares together. I had to cut a few more pieces to make it come out even. But I have enough here that I can make 5 more cards. And I will add those to my box of greeting cards that I send out. So I can't wait to see what everyone, what designer series paper did you choose? What are your background layers, your colors that you chose to go with that? Just how different and unique everybody's cards are going to be. So I cannot wait to see what you have created. Hey, Miss Bonnie. How are you? Hey, Robin. Robin, where are you from? It's nice to meet you. Hi, Marilyn. Hello, hello. Deborah. Andrea. Oh, my goodness. Scrolling through here, there's a whole bunch of new names. Nadine. The measurements of the squares, the little squares. This is 1 1/4. Then I did 1 5/8 and 2 inch. Bonnie, you're late again. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you, Andrea. You're welcome, Teresa and Deborah. Like I said, I can't wait to see what you all will create with this simple design and a way to use up your scraps. Now, you may create scraps to do this the first time, but you know, if you cut that 2-inch strip first with, you know, designer series paper has 2 sides. What I did was I cut 2-inch strips, and then I would cut my 2-inch squares that I needed, and then I would cut the 2-inch down to 1 5/8 and then into 1 1/4. And I did have to go back and cut more because I had more cardstock pieces left than I did designer series paper. But I just kept going until I evened it out so that I had enough squares to do some more cards. So yes, you might create scraps in order to make these, but if you have a scrap box, you don't even have to stick with a collection. To be truly scrappy, you would be using bits and pieces from everything that you've got. And if you don't put too much thought into it and lay the colors down, you may really be pleasantly surprised at what your squares will look like. You can go by color coordination and things like that, but try to be whimsical too. You can throw in a color that's not already what you're seeing in the square, because that color is probably going to be pulled out or picked up somewhere else. So it'll make it work. So you don't have to stick with a collection. Use all your scraps and see what you get. And just have fun with this card. I have the Pansy designer series paper that I want to try with this also, just to see how many different looks I can get out of the Pansy designer series paper. Dora says, I went to my scrap drawer and pulled 3 coordinating pieces for each card. She has enough for 6 cards while watching. Yay, I love it. Marilyn, I really, I'm so glad you enjoy the bird post. I sometimes get hung up on whether anybody really wants to hear about my birds and birding and stuff, but I just can't help but share. It's one of those things that birds get me through. I've met so many amazing people. People I don't know if I'll ever actually get to ever meet, but we already have a connection. And when my birding can resonate with somebody else, then we are now connected. And I love that. We may never meet, but we are connected. So, if I don't have any questions, I'm going to let you all go. We're about 20 minutes early, but that's okay. You can be working on your cards, right? So, I know it's Thursday again, Bonnie. You know what? I say that every Monday when I'm like, I got to come up with something for Thursday, because I know that I have viewers who would like to prepare ahead of time. I try my best to be ahead of the ball game, but sometimes things just get in the way. So I apologize for that, but it's all good. Like Karen says, it's all good. We still get it done. And we all come here to meet and in our own little community here. Doris, I believe so too. I believe that. And I think we all do have that connection to nature with this craft that we do. I mean, look at how many stampers have a collection of flower stamps, or they get every butterfly stamp. We are all connected to nature with our stamping. And just, the things that make us happy. Okay, Sharon, I will see you next week. You almost booked a room at a place near the birds. Where, Marilyn? Where are you going? Are you coming over my way? Because we have a lot of birds. Lori, when am I coming to Kokomo again? I was going to make it in July, but the piping plover babies will probably still be here, so my monitoring does not end until the plovers migrate south for their wintering grounds. So it could be August before I make it down to Kokomo again, but I will let you know so that we can spend some time together. Marilyn, are you serious? You're coming to Mommy Bay? Are you serious? Oh my gosh, I'm hoping that is a yes. Because then we are going to meet. Hi, Mary Fogarty. Where is the unique stamp from? It is the new stamp set called In Symmetry in the new catalog. In fact, I have my catalog here. Let's see if I can find it real quick. I mean, since we've got time to chit-chat, let's go back to the index. In Symmetry is on page 113. It has coordinating designer series paper. And there is a punch. I didn't get the punch either, and maybe I should have. But this punch will punch out leaves that look similar to the leaves here. But look how beautiful these flowers stamp. Can you see this here? Look at how beautiful. This is why I wanted this set. Because the colors are so pretty when you stamp with them. And then these are bits of the designer series paper that you can get also that would work with this set. So the In Symmetry stamp set is on page 113 of the annual catalog. Look at all my flags of everything that I want. My last catalog looked like this too, and a lot of those flags never got taken off because it's so hard to have it all. But look at all my flags. That's all the things that I want are on all those pages. Does anybody else flag their catalog when they first get it so that they know what page to go to when they're putting an order in? Oh, Marilyn, okay, with your knee. Yeah, the beach that the plovers are on, even if you park in the parking lot, it's a bit of a walk down to where they are. I could come to where you are and let you look through a scope, but, maybe if the plovers come back next year, you might be all healed up and you could come back. But even if you do decide to come, you need to let me know, because I would really hate the chance of missing meeting you. So Mary, you do. I would love to see pictures over, if you're not a part of the Quilts and More community group that you can find a link to in under the group tab under the Chirpy Card Maker, please go over and request to join. And I would love to see what your catalog looks like with the number of flags that, or any way that you mark your pages with flags, or maybe you have another unique way of doing it. But I would love to see what everybody else's catalogs look like so that I'm not the only one. Okay, if there's not any more questions, I am going to just say goodbye for now. And tonight I have a 4-hour shift from 6 at night till the park closes with the plovers. So I got a lot to do around the house before I take that on. So I'll let everybody go. I look forward to notifications that you have shared pictures of your cards, or maybe what your catalog looks like. If I can be of any help with an order, this is the June host code, and my website is julieheights.stampinup.net. If I can be of any help, if you already have a demonstrator or you are a demonstrator, your demonstrator can help you. And if you're a demonstrator, you already know all the ins and outs. So with that, you guys have a great day, and I will talk with you later. Yeah, there it is. Oh, Bonnie, you're getting your kit today. Woo, woo! Could it be that the mail is actually going to be ahead of schedule and I don't have anybody waiting 2 days before we go live on the card kit that they haven't gotten theirs yet? Oh, let's keep our fingers crossed that all goes well. Okay, everyone. Love spending my Thursdays with you. We'll talk to you later. Bye.